team sometimes to get answers on questions. But, from my experience in Kiev last week, it wasn't easy also. So it wasn't easy from the beginning. But I feel that in big cities, people feel more confident. So I think it will be maybe more successful even in big cities.
So this is an example, guys. In relationship, there's often misunderstandings. Like Vita just misunderstood my question, and she speaks perfect English. So I'm going to use this as an example. Communication in relationships is everything. So just kind of saying, what I meant actually, Vita, is I will rephrase the question. Okay. Do you think the type of girl, how you did your video, country girl versus city girl, do you think the type of girl is different in Poltava, let's say, compared to Kiev or Odessa? That's what I mean. Okay, sorry guys. Sorry
guys for my confusion. Yeah, was my mistake.
No problem.
Yeah, I think of course because Kiev, first of all, is the capital of Ukraine, and there are much more possibilities, and people, of course, more rich, and they got much higher salaries, and people used to have more possibilities to enjoy their life. And ladies, of course, can be more capricious, more demanding. But like in small cities like Sumy, people can be just satisfied with simple stuff, small things, and just enjoy their life. Or maybe some of them just want good, normal person next to them instead of having desire to have like villa or Bugatti, whatever, So I think, of course, there's the difference. Yeah.
I would definitely concur with Vita that, girls from the smaller towns, Poltava, Sumy, for example, Zaporozhye, these kind of towns, the girls are less, they're easier to please. They're more simple, right?
More simple, yeah.
The simpler things in life
is
what they appreciate. Yeah. They appreciate going for a shishlik on the river. Whereas, for example, because we're going to be having shishliks on the river as a matchmaking event, just small, very private ones. And for example, when girls are invited in Kiev, they turn their nose up to it. Oh, a shishlik. Why I want to go to a shishlik?
Yeah. Why not expensive restaurant or some nice place like exotic?
Exactly. Whereas the Poltava girls, the Sumy girls are like, okay, I get to meet foreign men on the shishlik outside. Cool. Kruta, right?
Yeah, cool. Kruta.
So guys, go ahead and please, we have the comment section here. We're live on comments right now. You guys that are on with us now, you get VIP treatment. We answer your questions first. As soon as a live question comes in, boing, we're going to see it. We're going to answer your question live. Other than that, we have the questions that you've already written in to us on the YouTube comments on the pre-live videos that we publish announcing that we're going live on Saturday. And guys, we plan on going live every Saturday. Now stay tuned for the times. They're going to change a little bit, but basically we plan on coming online around 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Time. And so you early birds, and in Pacific time zone, that's really early. So you early birds are going to get the worm. And the reason we're doing this, guys, is this is supposed to be just a casual stream, and we're a resource for you guys that are in relationships, or maybe you're looking at the opportunity of coming to Ukraine and meeting a lady and you're scared. Of course you're scared because these are some pretty shark-infested waters, as I always say, right, Vita?
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to be very careful who you, how you go about it. So, just any questions? No question is off limits. In fact, on that note, Vita wanted to tackle the first question. So she's courageous. So I'll give it to Vita for the first YouTube question from Aaron. We won't say the last name. Aaron is on YouTube asking this question. Take it away, Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Hello. So Aaron's question was, what is your opinion, thoughts on getting to know, date and marrying someone with disability? Actually, this question can have a lot of answers. And it depends, first of all, what kind of disability a man has. I believe in miracles. I always believe in the best in the world, but still I'm very skeptical and practical woman. And what I can tell...
Can I just? Yeah. I feel bad because it's the second question. That's the really nerve-wracking one, not this question.
Okay,
And
okay,
Vita's going to do that one too, so
okay.
stay tuned because this one is
okay. 1 second, guys.
embarrassing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you.
Okay.
It's a great question, and I want to say on this one too.
Yeah, you know,
Please go ahead.
I know lots of stories, even in Ukraine and maybe abroad, when disabled people meet each other and have great relations, and they're very devoted. But you know, for me, it's more realistic if both people have some disabilities, because then people are realistic about their situation and they're looking for maybe same partner, because another person will be more tolerant towards this disability. And of course it depends what kind of disability. If you just cannot move your right hand, or something like, you know, you cannot walk straight or something like this, or if you just lay down and you can't move at all, it depends, and it can be really difficult to find the person. But you know, it's very difficult. It would be really difficult to find person through marriage agency, I think, with some strong disabilities. But if you meet some specific person and you get in touch and you contact and communicate with this person, and he or she will see your personal characteristics, personal features, and she will find much common between both of you, I think, why not? Of course it can be, but it really depends on specific situations. You know, as far as I don't know details, so I can't give like specific exact answer, but I believe in miracles, so everybody has his chance, and it can be, and I know a lot of stories such like this, but depends on different factors. Okay.
Great answer, Vita. I'm just adjusting the camera here, guys. My comment first is really depends on the disability. I mean, there's a wide range of disabilities, right? I'll tell you a little story of a guy that I met in Kyiv. So I'm going to even keep first names out of it. We'll call him Bob, okay? I met him in Kyiv, and he has been sending emails and different free sites and agency sites and paying for chats and stuff like this, and corresponding with a lot of Ukrainian ladies. And the thing is, he didn't tell them that he's a quadriplegic. Mm-hmm. So, you know, paralyzed from the waist down. Really good guy. What Ukrainian women would consider strong man. He has a good career, very intelligent, attractive man. Used to be really tall, over 200 centimeters, 6 feet. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, he didn't disclose, he didn't tell the ladies about his physical disability when he's email corresponding. And he would actually meet with them. And they don't know in advance that he's a quadriplegic. Now, he's a very strong man, and he actually built his own walker to minimize his disability. But still, the reality is he's a quadriplegic.
He had a plan. He had a specific plan, I think. He wanted to attract women, first of all, with his personal characteristics. And then, when probably via communication, person will be even fall in love or like him very much, and then maybe she meet him personally, and then she realize something is wrong. Maybe then she can say, oh my God, I was communicating with him like few months and he was so nice. And then maybe, but it's not for every woman and not even for every person, because you need to be really kind-hearted and strong person and really get ready to such difficulties all your future life together. Mm-hmm. Mutual life. So
yep. So I mean, guys, if you do have a disability, you need to talk about it pretty upfront about it, right? And you know, definitely don't hold back and meet somebody like he was doing, because he's just setting himself up for failure. And can you imagine the shock of the girl shows up to meet him in person and he's in a walker and he's a quadriplegic, how she feels. So, you know, when you're looking for your love, when you're looking for your half, best to be upfront with everything. Now, that's kind of loaded too. If you have a lot of issues, you don't want to be dumping, you know, vomiting your issues on the first date. There's a progression there too. Yeah. So that's the first question, I guess. Next question.
Next question. Okay, guys. The next question was quite interesting. It was from Kevin. And the question is, what girls' attitudes towards erectile dysfunction are like? So, also can be a lot of different answers on this question. First of all, if there is a situation like you're in relations already with the person or you're married and then something went wrong, something happened, it doesn't mean that Ukrainian woman or maybe any other woman will stop relations with you or will get divorced or something like this. If it's real love and friendship between both of you, of course, woman will try to fight for this dysfunction. Maybe you can attend some doctors, some courses. Maybe you need just psychological help, not even some physical issue. Okay, but anyway, still it can be a problem to find the woman from the beginning. And maybe if the woman has some problems, like same problems, and maybe if she doesn't need sex so much, and she will be okay. Maybe she just also, I know such woman. She's brilliant person. She really looks attractive and nice, and all men crazy about her. She's a blonde with blue eyes, and by the way, very intellectually developed. But at the same time, she's not interested much in sex. So for her, it's just okay to have very smart and intelligent man next to her, and even if he can't have sex, for her will be even preferable. So, why not? It can be combination as well. But I prefer if it's just you planning, start dating or matchmaking, maybe try to let you know in advance, not to get disappointed and not to have false hopes and not to disappoint her. Because if you really like each other and then something went wrong, and not good. But still it can be, and as I tell, maybe it will be wonderful woman who will fight for you, who will try to change the situation, and maybe miracle will happen. Why not?
So, erectile dysfunction.
Professional will give an answer.
No. I mean, great comments. Again, I think you need to be fairly upfront about it fairly early on, not on the first date, but pretty early on in the communication. Yeah. And I think Vita makes a really great point. Women like men, well, I suppose like men, but women have different sex drives, right? As do men, I suppose. But generally, men's sex drive are higher than women's sex drive, but not always the case, right? Sometimes that's reversed. A good marriage is about satisfying needs at the end of the day, right? Satisfying your partner's needs. So if she has a low sex drive, like Vita's contact, then that makes sense. So, we believe, guys, that your half is out there somewhere. You just have to keep looking to find her. So no matter what your particular situation, if you just keep looking, you will find her. The only way you lose out in life and you end up alone, regardless of age, is when you give up on yourself.
Yeah, just give
right?
up. Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So
I want to add, guys, also. I believe that sex, first of all, is in your mind, in your brains. It's not only about physical. So, sexual people, they can be attracted by intellectual people. And also, there are lots of different types of satisfaction women, not only with, that specific organ. So, if the woman wants you and if she respects you and treats you well and she believes in you, maybe even erectile dysfunction doesn't matter so much because you still have your fingers, whatever. So you can be, guys, creative. And why not? I think also can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's that, I can't think of his name right now, but he's quite a famous Aussie personal development speaker, and what's his name? He has no arms and no legs.
From Poland.
Poland.
From Poland.
Australia.
Australia.
Big personal development speaker, and he's on stages and he speaks to 5,000 crowd of 5,000, and he has a beautiful blonde wife and child. So guys, anything is possible. And you know what? You sparked a thought, Vita, for me. that, as Vita says, Sigmund Freud said, sex begins with holding hands. I mean, especially for women, right? As John Gray in When Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, or the other way around, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. As John Gray says, men are like microwaves, women are like crock pots. They need warming up, right? So, if you have an erectile dysfunction or maybe a low sex drive, then it's more important for the lady, if you're good at warming up the engines, then everything is possible. So you just have to be good at warming up the engines, and you can overcome or compensate for other deficiencies, let's say. Yeah. So, okay, I think that's good on that one, huh?
I hope you're satisfied with the answer.
Oh, the next one is a juicy one. I'm going to take this one. No, the next one is not the juicy one. The one after is the juicy one. Next one is about, we get different religious men coming. So if you're of a certain Christian denomination, maybe you're a born-again Christian, maybe you're of some other denomination, and you really fervently believe that not in premarital sex. So you want to find a woman that has the same beliefs. You want to be equally yoked, as it says in the Bible, and that's really important to you. Just some stats on Ukrainian women. About 98% of Ukrainian population is Ukrainian Orthodox faith, okay? And it's quite different than Protestant. It's closer to Catholic. And about 2% is, give or take, is Protestant Christians. So, it's hard to paint with a brush. There are women in Ukraine that want to hold out and wait for marriage. You can definitely find that. I think you might have to look a little harder, look for some more women if that's really important to you. And you could, for example, if you're working with us and you get unlimited dates in a year, unlimited meetings from our 900 ladies, you should, if it's really important, you should put it right in your letter.
To let them know in advance. Yeah, and in your introductory letter, I always recommend to guys ask questions. Always ask questions. In this case, you will always have better feedback, and according to the answers of ladies, you will understand who fits you best. So if you have some concerns, if you have some ideas, and you have some specific points, and you're looking for specific person with some features, always ask questions in this letter, and when the woman will answer it, you will understand who is okay for you and who is not, who is the right person actually. So why not?
And kind of part B to the question, what's the progression of dating and meeting a girl to ending up in the sexual progression from the first date onwards to, from hand holding to kissing to petting to rolling in the hay. Guys, it's like, how far can a car go on a tank of gas? Well, it depends if it's a Ferrari or if it's a Lada, right? It's an impossible question to answer. The whole gamut is here. You could go on a date, and if you have great chemistry, it can be a great date, if you know what I'm saying, right? And then you might date somebody that takes a month, for example, to hold hands. And she's just a very good, wholesome, well-raised Christian girl. I've seen such situations. So,
or maybe she's not just sure too much in you. That's why she tried to keep distance still until she is confident 100% in you. Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what I want to say on this point, though, guys, because I see this a lot. I see that not so much working with us and our ladies, but guys that are working with different sites and meeting ladies different ways, and they've been seeing her chatting for quite some time, and then they come to Ukraine and they go out on many dates. Maybe they see each other for a week or two. I've seen cases where it's been 3 years coming back to see the same lady, and then I talk to him and I say, jokingly, it's not a client, guy I met in the restaurant, I said, Henry, his name was Henry, are you getting any nookie? I was joking with him, right? We were having a pint, and he looked at me and he said, well, yeah, one time she touched me on the arm. And I said, you gotta be beep kidding me, right, Henry? You see, guys, this is a red flag. If you have quite a bit of contact with her and there's no physical connection, there's no hand holding, there's no touching, there's no like this major red flag, especially if you're seeing a translator and you're being charged for translation fees.
If you want to sit a little bit far, not close to you, if you're walking on the street, and if she's okay, like accidentally touch you with the shoulders or take your arm. So when it's okay, but if she always try to keep distance, it shows like not so much physical attraction, or she's just too much protective, maybe, still not sure. Yeah,
it's something you really want to pay attention to. I always say, guys, trust your gut. You should feel a chemistry and connection that you have to her, but then it needs to be reciprocal, right? You should feel her being into you back. Otherwise, it's no good, right? It's a one-way street. It's got to be a two-way street here. So, the whole sex and what leads up to sex is very important, right? At the end of the day, intimacy and sexual connection is very important to marriage, right? I mean, it's one of the most important things. So, anything else to add to that, Vita?
Yeah, just need to be on the same page.
Yep. Page 69.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We digress here.
Good
Good one. Yeah. Okay. I'm blushing a little bit now. Okay. This is a good one, guys. This is from Yanet79 on YouTube. So he says, what reason would a woman suddenly break it off with a Western man by not replying to an email, block on Skype and Viber, after she met with the Western man in person and had prior spoke to him 3 months on chat and stuff like that? She wasn't romantic with him when they were in person. Is it possible for the woman to get feelings for the man again if she believes he said something wrong, but now she refuses all contact? That's the question. Very good subject. Very good point. Ukrainian ladies are pretty touchy, and the communication barrier is huge. It's absolutely huge. So it's very easy, to say something in English, and if her English isn't good and she throws it into Google Translate, for example, the word patient. Oh my gosh, the word patient. I'm a very patient man. Okay, if you Google Translate that, it comes out and she thinks you're a patient in a hospital. That's just one example. And she's like, oh, the guy's sick. She might not even tell you, but now she thinks you're sick. It's just one of a myriad of examples, guys. So, but listen, if she blocks you on Viber and Skype, you're done.
You definitely insulted her huge. Or she wasn't so much interested in you from the beginning. And just at that moment, she realized nothing to catch here, nothing to do with you, no sense to deal. So she just decided to block. Or I say, like, you offended her greatly. So it depends really on what you told and or maybe what she investigated. So she can change her mind, of course, but you need to work hard on it. And as far as we don't know specific details of this situation, what you told her and what's happened. But if she wasn't romantic with you from the early beginning, during the on daily based communication for 3 months, for me it's a red flag, absolutely. So probably I think she just wasn't so much interested, and then at the end of the day she realized nothing gonna happen or nothing to take from you. Maybe she understand that her plan doesn't work. So my opinion.
Yeah, great point. And I think I'll add to this and kind of piggyback on the last question that guys, when you come here to meet ladies, it's really important, if at all possible, to get the relationship to a stage that you have some physical connection. Holding hands, the first kiss. You really should try to get in the first kiss, right?
It will indicate.
Be brave. Yeah, it'll indicate if she likes you, really. Otherwise, what do you got? A friendship. And then you go back home for however many months, and it's like a friendship. Friendship's great, but you guys need to know if you have chemistry. And you need to know that you need to be bold, guys. These ladies are not going to kiss you. You have to step up, be the initiator. You have to go for the kiss, right? Be chivalrous.
But not on the first date.
Not on the first date. No, definitely not on the first date. Thank you for that one. I know it's more common probably back in the West, but generally not here.
Even if she wants, just show her you are the right man and you are not here just to get in her into bed. Show her your serious intentions, and then believe me, she will be double happy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with Vita. If I may say, Vita, Ukrainian woman is of course used to Ukrainian men, and from all my experience, I go to Banya. I did for many weekends, with a half a dozen naked Ukrainian men, drinking piva and vodka, and so I hear all the stories, and have quite a bit of experience. We'll see what Vita thinks of my comment, but I understand that Ukrainian men are very pushy in this department. In fact, I've had so many women tell me that it's common play here that if a woman accepts an invitation to dinner from a Ukrainian man, afterwards he's expecting to take her home. Is that right?
Yeah.
Not always, right? Not always, but a lot.
A lot, yeah. As I mentioned this, by the way, in my previous video, yeah, we mentioned all these points. So if you give her some expensive present, or you bring her to a very nice and expensive restaurant, and you spend some money on her, which is considered not small money, okay? So woman will feel like she owes you something, and in most cases, men, especially rich men who is very confident, like business owners, maybe some mafia men or some politicians even, they obviously don't respect women so much, and he considers if he spends some money, he need to take what he deserves. And in this case, lots of women will be afraid first time, will try to protect, maybe even if she likes you, even if she refused to do it on the first, second, third date. It not always means she doesn't like you, but she wants just to check your intentions, that you are really serious and not like you come. Everybody understands actually that you come from 1,000 kilometers from overseas. Maybe you bring some presents. You walk her around, and you attend some nice places, and she will be a little bit afraid. So don't push her, give her time, try some slight touches, but not kisses, not like, cage her or something. A little bit, not intentionally. And if she is not like jumping like from electric shock, so it means she's okay and she trusts you. So try to be polite in this way. Even if you see she's ready for some kisses, give her a little bit time, show her that your interest much deeper than just getting her into bed. Yeah.
Great comment, Vita. And I would like to add to that it's a very important point, guys, that you understand that's why you don't want to. Well, it's one of the reasons why you don't want to give lavish gifts, like some kind of iPhone, even if it's a 7 or anything like this on the first date, or expensive perfumes. It's too much, because good girls, like Vita said, they don't like this because they don't want to feel like they owe you something, and that's what they culturally feel like, because that's the way a lot of Ukrainian men are. So you want to be a better alternative than that kind of man, whatever nationality, because let's face it, women around the world, they want to the woman, the physical part, it comes only after there's the emotional connection, right? They don't want it. No women want physical before emotional connection. So you have to show her that you're willing, you're patient, not the patient in the hospital, you're patient, and you're willing to wait and work for her interests. You're willing to take the time to get to know her. To win her. She wants to be won. That's another amazing thing, that when I understood this, it blew my mind, that these women really want to be won. They want to be conquered. Like, they want the strong man that,
like in old ages.
Yeah, it's true, right, Vita?
Yeah, of course. Like knights were fighting for the woman to get a heart and hand of some princess. So it's still Ukrainian women still very romantic. It's not like Western women, so we still have these fairy tales in our mind. Even if she has this mask, okay, trust me, if you will be careful man, attentive man, and if you will work hard on it, one day you can take this mask off, and she will be very delicate, romantic, and sensitive.
Yep, absolutely. So I was going to say, yeah, and our Western women don't want to be won, do they, guys?
They want to win. They want to win, men, probably.
Yeah, men in skirts, and not to generalize, but these women are very different. So you need to understand, they want you to pursue them. Do we have questions coming in? Because we don't see any on the chat. You can come on around, Vlad, and you can meet our IT genius, the Vladster. Say hi, Vlad.
Our
Hey everyone.
favorite guy.
Yeah, we wouldn't be streaming live if it wasn't for Vlad here. He's got us all set up. So we've got the live chat here, which I guess hasn't been... Oh, we've been missing lots of questions. So sorry, guys. We've been into these questions pretty deep. So yeah, I'll just finish that up because it's a really big point that Ukrainian women, they want the strong man. They want the leader. They want you to, for example, say where we're going for dinner or lunch. Don't ask her. She doesn't, right?
Be initiative, make your plan, get plan ready before. Don't ask her where we go, where you want to come. She will be very surprised and appreciate if you have already plan in your mind and you just make her please very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make her what? Please. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You will please her. You will please her. Sorry,
okay,
you will
okay.
please her.
Understand.
She will be pleased.
Yeah, she'll be pleased. It's very important, guys, because us Western guys here, we make this mistake all the time. Almost all clients make this mistake. They're not strong enough. You need to try to emulate to some degree the Ukrainian man. Okay, if you're going to be successful here, the Ukrainian man is alpha male. Okay, and I shudder to say most Western men might not be as high alpha as most Ukrainian men. Very alpha, so they're take charge kind of guys, and that's what Ukrainian women are used to. So, and the thing is, if you, for example, don't set the stage as to suggest where we're going for dinner, but be nice about it, right? Nice French restaurant around the corner. I thought we would go there. Do you like French food? Like that. You are leading, but you're still being polite about it. Yeah, that's great, Vita. Sorry, guys. We just came online with the questions. We're behind with the live questions. My apologies. We just saw them just now. Vlad flagged it for us. So we'll just wrap up on this question. What else do I want to say about this point? Very, very important point. Ukrainian women want you to be, as they call, the strong man. Because all these little things, like, for example, this is taken me some time to realize this, so I will point this out to you as a Western man, as a fellow Western man, that Ukrainian women, they read into these little things. They're little indicators. If you can't even make a decision where to go for a bite to eat, she reads into that you can't handle a family problem because you can't even pick a bloody restaurant. Yeah. And they read into everything. They read into if you they look how trimmed your fingers are.
Exactly.
How well you'll take care. They look into your shoes, what your shoes are like, and they really read into it. I mean, it really was quite an awakening for me to understand this. So big tips here, guys, for you to be successful here. So do you want to take it away with the first question, Vita?
Yeah, okay.
Salvador, yeah?
Yeah, here's the question from Salvador. I'm young. Hello, Christian. How long does it take to put the ring on it? My intention is to win her affection and marry her. I would show her and gifts because I got nothing better waste my money on. It's good that you are young, Salvador, and probably I hope you're looking nice. But it really depends on relations which you have already with her. Can I mention one of our client? I got one client who came here in April, and by the way, he was they got huge chemistry between both of them. They have still some misunderstanding because of language barrier, but still it was obviously they fall in love with each other. And by the way, a few days ago he got married. So it took him just 3 months to get married. So obviously it depends on personality, it depends on how you behave and how you're gonna win her heart.
They got married?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I just learned accidentally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a few days ago.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So,
this was former Miss Ukraine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it depends how... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just want to tell, it depends on your relation, it depends how often you communicate with her, what's her reaction on your communication, if it's online communication or you're dating her face-to-face, if you got already physical intimacy. So if you guys got chemistry and if she really falls in love with you, it's not a problem in Ukraine. For some women, I know some stories, people can get married just after 1 week. For some people, it can be like months, years. I know one of my friends, they are young people and they are dating more than 11 years already. For me, it's a little bit strange, I can tell. So, I don't know, some circumstances, maybe they're not ready financially, looking for a new apartment or whatever. So it depends on circumstances of your situation and how brave you are and if she got chemistry with you. So it can be even not so long time.
Yeah. It's a loaded gun question, guys. It's one of those questions that it's impossible to answer. It's too circumstantial. But I can say Carlos's testimonial is on our YouTube channel. Carlos was he was our fastest marriage in 16 years. I don't suggest you follow Carlos's lead, but I'm going to give you a left example to a right wing example. Okay, so Carlos is the left wing example. He came to meet one girl. She was actually in Moscow when he arrived, and he waited for her 10 days. He didn't want to meet anybody else. He only wanted Yana. Anyway, long story short, his video testimonials on YouTube, on Match Guarantee YouTube channel. Carlos drove to see her, I think it was in Zaporozhye, and he proposed on the first date. Yikes. He proposed on the first date, and he says in his testimonial interview, he says, she didn't say no, so I took that as a yes. And there's many points that can be gleaned from Carlos. These ladies, I think all ladies worldwide, they like a confident man. If the man shows that he knows he wants her, that's what she wants. As long as she has some attraction for you and you look like a strong man, you can win her with your confidence, with your knowing that and Carlos really proved that up. So there you go. From first date, and they got married in 1 month. Okay. Proposal on first date, marriage in 1 month. That's Carlos. And then you've got guys that propose in 6 months, 1 year, or never propose on the opposite end of the scale. And I think the best tips I can give you guys as to how to know, and the questions are really starting to pour in, so I got to speed this up. Don't propose too quickly. You have to really feel. You have to get this positive feeling back from her. You want to ask her some questions. You can start to talk about what's your ideal honeymoon, for example. That's pretty low risque. Then what's your ideal wedding look like? And these kind of things. Again, not too early, but it's just a conversation at this point. And from her feedback about this topic, if she doesn't engage the topic, well, that's a stop, right? That's a complete stop. But if you talk about it, she gets that sparkle in her eye and she engages the conversation, that's a positive sign, right? So very different depending on the lady. One last thing I'll say is don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry, because if you're in a hurry, you come across as desperate. And nobody wants to be with somebody that's desperate. It's pathetic. You come across as pathetic. Okay, so take it easy, be cool, be confident, and just focus on her. Okay, next question.
Okay, guys, next question. I'd like to answer this question. I would never give gifts on a first date. That is almost unheard of in the States. That's very bad that you never give gifts on the first date. I don't mean iPhones, MacBooks, or whatever.
It's a mistake.
But it's a great mistake. Ukrainian women, they are of old traditional dating romantic school. So all of us still supposed to get some flowers, some sweets, nothing more. Just trust me, it will be enough. It will be some roses and some nice box of chocolates, but not like cheap and small one, but nice that can impress her. It will be quite enough and she will appreciate it greatly. But if you come for the first date with the empty hands, I think women will understand immediately. First of all, you're not so much interested in her. Maybe you're greedy, maybe you're cheap. You don't want to spend your money on her. Once again, I'm not talking about expensive stuff we mentioned in our previous videos about these gifts, bad and good gifts, but flowers and sweets to Ukrainian women always is like mandatory, so will work always.
Guys, you have no idea how brilliant of words those is, and I wish I knew this years ago.
You wish you met me before.
You guys, you have no idea what invaluable advice Vita just gave you, and I concur completely. She's spot on. We just don't have this in the West, and because our women don't have the same mentality. And let me expand upon what Vita said. It's worse. Okay, so first of all, you only have one chance to make a first impression, right? This is your shot, the first date, right? Again, Ukrainian women read into this. If you don't show up with 3 flowers, white or pink is what we suggest to clients, and or a box of nice chocolates like Lavish chocolates. I coach our clients, go to your hotel room or your flat and have some Lavish chocolates on standby in case you don't have time to buy 3 roses for the girl when you go to your first date. Very important. Because, okay, so here's the deal. If you don't show up with a gift, and Vita's right on, no expensive gifts. So,
absolutely,
I mean,
never.
They read into this that you're, first of all, like Vita said, you're not so much into them. Okay. The other thing is,
you want to buy them?
Well, no, you don't want to buy them.
No.
You're cheap.
You're cheap.
They don't want a cheap man. I mean, nobody wants somebody cheap. And by cheap, guys, don't butcher us on this word cheap. This is not a gold digger, but she wants the man to take care of the family, right? That is our job, right? I mean, that is your job as a man in Ukraine culture. Okay, the women here want you to take care of the family, not like the Western women that want to do everything themselves. So yeah, again, they read into this that you're not going to take care if you don't even present a gift. Oh, and Vita didn't mention this, but children, if she has children, definitely get a little teddy bear or something. I mean, you get huge brownie points.
If you come first time and you're gonna meet lady and you know for sure she has children, even you better not forget, not miss present for children. Even if you forget to bring to her, but always do it for children. Believe me, she will appreciate it even more if you give her something, because she will understand you really pay attention to her interests, you care about her, and you're gonna to build some relations with her child. I'm not gonna say that you absolutely will become a father, like real genuine father, but at least you need to try to become a friend to win the trust of and friendly relation from child. So always, guys, sweets work always here with women and with children and with moms. So if your relation on that state that she's gonna bring you home to introduce to her family, always bring some sweets to her mom, because she will evaluate you from top to the bottom. So
Not sure what she means by that, but
you understand.
Okay, next question. They're just piling in. Oh, you ready? You got the next one?
Yeah, I found very interesting question from Tavares. Do older Ukrainian women like younger men? Sorry, guys.
Younger men?
Yeah, of course.
Do some or all? What did he say?
No, just do older Ukrainian older women like younger men? I understand the question. So, guys, we have such women who is really tired from their life, who is tired maybe from the men of their same age. And I can tell you even more. Older woman who likes younger men always will be desperate woman, who is absolutely disappointed in men, in life, in her expectations, and she's looking just for some adventures. You know, that feeling like you want, okay, let's be what it can be. You know, in this case, it can be. And some women who travel another country, sometimes Eastern country. I know a lot of stories when older women just was attracted by younger men because it's more easy to get their attention, and in this case it happens. But I think actually wise, mature and smart woman will keep the distance, so she will look like for the same age, or like normal woman, confident woman. She's always will be looking for men which who is a little bit older.
Yeah, that I would jump in there and say, yeah. Normally, Ukrainian women prefer a little bit older man.
Protector.
Not an old man, a little bit older man. Big distinguishment. And the reason they want an older man is because generally the older men are, more in the king stage of manhood, not the prince stage, but the king stage. And they're better providers, more confident, more knowledgeable, so they can be like a teacher. And they want to look up to the man. They want him to be strong, as they call.
He can guide.
He can guide, and he can be a wise father for the children. These are all very important features. So, ladies, 10 to 15 years is the kind of sweet spot that we find. But it depends on the lady, right? And the age question is a big one, right? So Vita just did we just posted a YouTube video, The Age Gap Trap. I guess that's from my interview with Aaron. That video just went live. And there's big age ranges from 10 to 15 years to 20 years. I just did a coaching call with a fella that's 47, but he's got a six-pack, for example. He looks good, full head of hair. And so for him, he's 47, he can pull off down to 30. 17 years for him. I've seen him. I know. I'm very confident that he can fall in love and marry one of our ladies with a 17-year age gap. Now, if the same guy was potbelly, never worked out, was a machine operator or something and just didn't have it really together, okay, didn't look so great, he can pull off maybe 10 years, maybe not even 10 years. So it really depends. Next question.
I found one question from Steven. Why do Ukrainian and Russian women like the book Master and Margarita? Because it's mystery, guys, and it's about crazy love. It's classic, and it's not for everyone, by the way. It's type of reading not for every person, because it's a little bit difficult. Even for Russian people, you need to have specific mentality and way of thinking to understand properly what says in this book. But it's all about love. So that's why our women still romantic, and they like this book, and it's still popular. Many years, many generations still like reading it and to memorize. So, and even can reread many times. It's because of love and romance.
Are most Ukrainian women monogamous in marriage? Very difficult to answer this question. My take on this is Ukrainian women, because there's a shortage of good men in Ukraine. First of all, there's a demographic shortage of men. But then there's a much bigger shortage of good men over the age of 30. When the lady hits 30, there's especially a shortage of good men, really a shortage, like serious shortage. I mean, the ladies will tell you that. So when they find a good man, okay, they're not going to do anything to mess that up. So my opinion is Ukrainian women are much more faithful than most women from other countries. And that's my take on it. I think it's a judgment call. It's an opinion. We'll see what Vita says about this.
Sorry, guys, I missed your point. I was looking at the questions. Sorry.
Okay. The question is, are Ukrainian women monogamous in marriage? Do they, when they're married, is it possible that they cheat around compared to Western women?
It's possible, of course. I never said that all Ukrainian women are best women of all over the world. Sometimes we have also bad women and bad mothers. It can be, but it depends really on relations. I know that if Ukrainian woman really loves you, she will always keep her promises, and she always will be devoted, and she will never cheat on you. But if you treat her not in a correct way, if you have some issues, some rare sex relationships, maybe if you don't pay attention to her, sometimes you can be a good husband, good man, but if you feel like she's already yours and nothing to win already, and she can't go somewhere, so she will stay forever, so you just guys relaxed, so nothing to work on again. So if she is missing such things like simple attention, and you never tell her compliments, never bring her flowers, you don't appreciate, even if she doesn't work, if she stays at home and she's doing housework, which is considered to be quite a difficult job as well. So if you come home like it must be, you see table, food, everything prepared for your coming, everything cleaned, washed, and if you don't appreciate it, and if you never say her thank you, you just sit on your sofa, just eat like she must do it, and you just watch your television or chatting with some friends eating the food, and she feel alone, believe me, if she loves you, one day she can be just hunted by the man who is not maybe even so good as you are, but who can give her that attention, who will be so sweet in his talks, some actions. She will just feel as a woman, and it can be a trap for you. So in this case, take care. Yeah, in this case, take care. Serious Ukrainian woman, if she really loves you, she will be always good wife for you, and she will be monogamous. But if you will offend her, take care.
Okay. Next question. Questions are pouring in. We're trying to keep up. We have interesting questions here. Many very interesting questions that have come in. Comments on YouTube and live questions coming in now. This is a good one. Why are Ukrainian women so good actresses with men? They can adapt to any type of man. Where do they learn these skills? I think you're talking about scammers there, because good girls, as I call it, they're not so much like that. You've probably been played and burned, I'm assuming. So I would say you're not right on that one, that they're not actresses. But they are I find a little bit a lot more reserved. The culture here is very much keep things quiet in a relationship. What do you think, Vita? You see the question?
Yeah, I see the question. Guys, being actresses with a man, it's not only point about Ukrainian women. It's in women by nature. Women from all the natures will always be good actresses. And even, the revenge from women will be much more horrible than from men, because women creative in this point, and they can really make awful plans if they want to take revenge or to do something bad for you. So I think it's not just being actress. Every woman from all over the country can be a good actress if she wants to get something and she need to pretend. But it's not, it's just personal feature. I'm not a good actress, so if I'm lying, you can simply understand it from my face expression. I don't feel comfortable even, or if I feel some negative feelings towards person, I can never smile. Like we believe some Western people do. Like Americans, we have this idea that Americans always smiling, even if they don't like the person, just to be polite. For me, it's unacceptable. I can't, just physically, I can't. I'm not able. So I think it depends just on the person.
Yep. In fact, that's a stereotype, guys. As you get ready for the next question, that's a stereotype that, in Ukraine, they think that us guys in the West, Americans, let's say, we are wearing a phony smile. We smile a lot, but it's fake. Okay, and most Ukrainian people, I find, think that. So that was hard for me as a Canadian because we smile a lot. I smile a lot. So, in fact, if you're on the street and you smile to a stranger, they think you're... It's true. Something wrong with this guy. Why is he smiling at me? So, okay, next question. Oh, are we... Yeah, live questions.
Okay, 1 second. The next question is... what is the best job now for a smart, ambitious young Ukrainian to get? For example, in the United States, I think the best job now is an internet company like Google, Facebook, Amazon.
Exactly. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. IT. If you're good and professional at IT services, so
we
you can
just talk back and forth on this. Yeah, IT people can make in Ukraine. I know a
even
program.
here.
Yeah, I know a programmer that makes $5,000 a month in Ukraine, which is huge.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. But normal IT guys can make 1,000, 2,000 and upwards. So it's one of the the top paid is the politician.
They're not well paid. They're just stealing money.
Yeah, I mean, how are they driving around the Bentleys? And I saw a wedding. I saw a wedding with 3 Bentleys in a row in Sumy. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? So that's the best paid position.
Private doctor also. Private doctor also can be well paid, and if he has his own building and very good service, provide good service, so also can get really big money. Some business owners also.
Yeah, that's a good one. Business owners here. It really is, capitalism is quite new here, guys. As a serial entrepreneur myself, I see opportunities in Ukraine all day long, like every month, maybe every week. I see different opportunities because capitalism's new here. There's not so many small businesses, but there's more popping up all the time. So I think there's this is a country with lots of opportunity with you, especially for the Western mind that comes here and sees things differently with more of an open mind, because the mindset here is very still closed, and protectionism is very in Ukraine still. Okay, next question.
Next question is it possible, from Roger, is it possible to find a girl who is a strong Christian, where their personal Christian faith is a priority to them and they want to find a man with the similar values? Absolutely. Yeah, we have lots of such girls, but you need to work a little bit harder to find them, because you need to be involved in the specific atmosphere. And if you travel, let's say if you travel to Ukraine and if you find out where is the specific places when such people gathering together has specific meetings, right? Like churches or something, I think yes. We have a lot of religious people who really believe in God, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I go a lot to a Baptist church here in Sumy, and and there are all born again Christians there, but that term born again Christian is very very alien to the Ukrainian culture. It's very rare, and the born again Christians or the Baptists, for example, and the Ukrainian Orthodox don't really see eye to eye. I find Ukrainian Orthodox faith is quite much like a business. It's my personal opinion. I've heard a lot of stories of how they operate, and I find it a little bit not so religious, a little too much business myself personally. But yes, absolutely, you can find any kind of lady in Ukraine with any kind of values, but yeah, might have to look a little harder and a little deeper and meet more women. Next question.
Yeah. Okay, what about teaching English in Ukraine?
The guy wants to come and teach?
Yeah, if you want to come and teach, it can be well paid, but I'm not sure in comparison with American payment, so it can be good to live with this money. In Ukraine, it will be okay, but if you want to earn here by teaching English and then come back to USA and live there, I'm not sure will be huge.
I didn't really follow you, but yeah, it's well paid if you want to make $3 an hour or $5 or $6. I mean, English teachers, even if you're a native English teacher here, you might make $10 an hour. That's tops. So no, not well paid. I know a lot of expats living in Ukraine and they teach English, and some of them are making $2 an hour, some $10 an hour. So really there's no good paid, well-paid jobs in Ukraine for you as an expat. If you're thinking of coming to Ukraine, really the only way to make decent money is to be an entrepreneur, start your own business. But that's a loaded gun too, because to start your own business in Ukraine, I wouldn't suggest you invest capital here. It's just too easy to lose it. Really, be extremely careful coming here with money to invest. Even buying a flat or apartment here, you have to be extremely careful. There's flat scams, there's notary and lawyer scams, you name it. You have to be very careful here.
One more question from Roger. I'm 62, a good youthful 62, not a burnt out 62, like most men in Ukraine, by the way. In those 62, they're like...
they're done.
Yeah, done. Already not a man, like grandpapa or something like this.
Yeah, because it's a hard life, right?
Of conditions, I'm realistic enough to know what I need to be looking at women in their late 40s or into their 50s. Is that a reasonable expectation?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, why not? As we mentioned before, it's like 10-15 years difference, which is appropriate, considered to be good here in Ukraine. So if you're 62, like starting from 45, maybe even 40, it depends on how you look. If you're active, energetic, if you like to travel, if you maybe going dancing, attending gym, why not? Yes, it can be. It really depends on your appearance and your way of thinking.
I'll give an example of Kelly. So his testimonial videos on our YouTube channel. He's a client that came. Kelly's 70 from the southern US, and he's pretty much bald, and well, you can see what he looks like in his video. He's overweight, and you can see what he looks like in the video, but the thing is, he's got some redeeming qualities that Natasha found attractive. And when I went and sat with them and took them for lunch one day and saw them together as a couple after being 2 weeks together, and there's Kelly and there's Natasha. It was wintertime. She's wearing her fur coat and she's very curvy. She's 52, he's 70, and she was very attractive, elegant woman, very well spoken, minimal English, but really, Kelly did well. I would sum it up and put it that way. So absolutely, you have every chance. If you're realistic and you keep it less than 15 years, and I would hazard to say, the older you get, the age gap can actually go up a bit. So 70 and 50 is better than 50, and 20.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. As you get older, you can spread the age gap a little bit, depending. And anything is possible. So yeah, you have every chance. The key is to be meeting good girls. Meet girls that, however you find them, you think they are a good girl, right? Working with an agency that has a proven formula for vetting ladies and a track record, that's very important. Go to church. Why not? You have to stand in the church for 3 hours at the Ukrainian Orthodox in Ukraine, and you have the language barrier, so it's not easy to meet them at church either. But if you're going to go to the pub or go to the church, better go to the church. Next question.
Next question from Alice. What are some good cities in the Ukraine for living?
You want me to answer?
Yeah, the best. It depends on also on what you want. Some people prefer to live in suburban because they are tired from noisy crowds and they would like to get to their privacy, maybe to be involved in some agricultural business, to have some small farm. Why not? So it can be suburban of Sumy, of Kiev. If you like nature, Carpathians or maybe western part of Ukraine like Lviv, Vinnytsia can be really good. If you're looking for movement, still active life, nightclubs, crowded people, if you're looking for some active way of life, so Kiev can be awesome, Odessa can be nice because Odessa has sea beach, so also can be nice for health. So it depends really on your purposes. We have lots of, even Sumy, I can tell you, Sumy is a great city to live, but depends on your purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's professional because he travels much. He knows Ukraine.
No, but
Maybe
you're Ukrainian, so
than me.
I agree with Vita. I would add to it. I just got off the phone with a guy from Houston, Texas, and he's in Odessa right now. And he said to me, it's more expensive in Odessa than in Houston. So Odessa's expensive, relatively speaking. Kyiv and Odessa are the most expensive cities in Ukraine. So if you're looking at budget-wise, those are expensive places, but that's where the action is. My personal favorite is Lviv, okay, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's very European. You actually don't feel so much like you're in Ukraine when you're in Lviv, in Lvov. And a lot of Poles, a lot of Polish people there. They dress different, and the cost of living in Lviv is very cheap. I would say less than 50% of Kyiv. Not too far off of Sumy. And Sumy is one of the most economical, one of the cheapest cities to live in the country. So it depends what you're looking for. Like Vita said, Sumy's good for nature, countryside, but not so much to do. Some good restaurants and stuff like that. So all depends what you're looking for. What do we got next?
One more question. 1 second. I got one.
You know what? I'm going to just take us to a commercial break.
About results.
So we're going to come back and answer this question.
Okay.
Which question we're going to answer next?
About results, one guy, sorry, I missed it.
Okay, we will come back and answer your next questions. We have many great questions here. We're just going to take a short break, and we will be back. We are streaming live, and we are going to the beach. Okay, so we're going to do some babe watching here very soon. You don't want to miss checking out the Sumy babes on the beach. So the whole crew is going down, and we're going to shoot off my iPhone 10. Right now, we're on the laptop. So stay tuned. We will be right back after this short break. Bye-bye.
And for all guys who said thank you in the comments for answers, I just can say you're welcome, and always stay with us, and we're going to answer all your questions. So appreciate it. See you later a little bit. Bye.
See you soon.
See you soon, guys.
Actually, how do you... One second.
I'm not sure.
We're going to commercial break. Commercial break. How do you...